Hello, I'm Martin. I'm stood out here on the edge of the canoe trail. Welcome to another Wildlife Weekly. This week we have seen lots of grey-lag goslings hatching out around the site, along with coot chicks, very outrageous looking birds with their strange hairdos. We've also got lapwing chicks hatching out on the reserve, which is wonderful to see. Well, this week we've had some showers around and that's dropped some migrants out of the sky. We have windchats and wheatears, which have been spending the winter months in Africa. Windchat is smaller of the two. It's got that lovely stripe above the eye. You're more likely to see it on top of the fence posts or on the strand of barbed wire, which it uses as a lookout for grabbing insects. Wheatears, slightly larger bird. That big white rump is very obvious when they take flight just ahead of you. More likely to see them feeding on the ground, but they will perch up on the fence posts as well and utilise those. Most hides have got reed buntings showing in front of them. Male reed buntings have got very striking black head markings and a white moustachial stripe, if I can't even say it. Moustachial stripe. Leave that in there. See if you can say it. Which is very obvious, you know, from the hide. You can see it's a sparrow-like bird, very well marked, black head, but these white moustache stands out quite well. Okay, well, lots of birds have young around the site beginning to appear, but others are really just settling down to the breeding season. So we've got oyster catchers this week, which are busy mating, copulating out, viewable from many of the hides and even in the grounds as well. And glad to say that the male was successful in managing to balance on top of the female on this occasion. So hopefully they'll have a nest soon and be laying some eggs. Here on the reserve, and on all of our reserves in fact, we have lots of wetland habitats which provide a muddy edge which lots of wading birds rely upon to feed. Out on the estuary it's a slightly different scenario, but the shelduck populations here thrive by feeding on the mud flats. Okay, as you can see here, the shelduck are very busily walking through the wet mud, the ooze as we like to call it, sweeping their beaks from side to side. So they're looking for any food items that might be in it. It could be snails, various invertebrates, but it's a technique of basically cover lots of ground and just see what you can find, just using that beak for the sensitive touch, find yourself a meal. So I'm glad to say the lapwing chicks, because they're so small, they feed very low down because of their height. It's kind of like a microclimate down there, and insects get blown across to these muddy, even dry baked mud areas where the lapwing chicks can pick off the flies and feed upon those before going back under mum, where she will warm them up again, ready for the next feeding session. Weather once again playing its part this week. We've had some very foggy, misty mornings, real pea supers, and it's not very conducive to bird watching, but I did manage to sneak up on a crane which was feeding on the seawall without it knowing I was there, and just about capture it through the misty conditions. Now we've seen some very interesting things of late with the cranes. We've had lots of them about the site, some new birds visiting us. But probably the most significant thing is we're starting to see the roe deer, which bred here last year, have been mingling among the cranes. So we've got birds which haven't been here, haven't bred here for 400 years, meeting mammals which have only recently recolonised Slimbridge, so they've not been around for a couple of hundred years, and it's just lovely to see the two species coming together here at Slimbridge. Okay, this week we have installed a crane camera. It's pretty much the same view that you will get from the Martin Smith hide where the birds are nesting, but we can keep an eye on things 24 hours of the day. Now this week the first batch of great crane project eggs have arrived from Germany, and they are indeed hatching. So 13 have hatched out of the 14 eggs, with another one still hatching currently, and we're expecting another batch of eggs to arrive from Germany very soon. It's nice to see the young cranes hatching out, and they're now up on their feet, taking their first steps in life. If you visit first thing in the morning, you may well see the shelduck sitting up on the roofs of hides and some of the barns locally. They do this every year. Females are sort of looking for nest sites, males are displaying to them. And just wonder if anybody else sees this around the country, because it certainly happens here year after year. Looking to the week ahead, it's a classic case of April showers and the wind direction pretty much in every direction at some point. Now we're approaching a very important week or two coming up in migration. So if we get overnight showers, it could dump migrants from the sky. It could be alive with birds on top of the thousands of birds that are here already. It can increase the number significantly. We might also see perhaps a rarity or two appearing, something a little bit unusual, just to get the blood racing. If you've enjoyed this video, then feel free to share it with your friends and followers on Facebook and Twitter. Alternatively, do subscribe to our YouTube channel or visit our website for further information.